welcome back to Our World Outdoors. Today we are going to show you how we make dehydrated chicken spaghetti for our backpacking trips. To start off with, spaghetti sauce. Now, one thing you really need to keep in mind whenever you're doing this, you have to over season, because anytime you dehydrate something, it doesn't have the flavor as much. So you'll see I'm going to put in, you're going to think, oh my god, that's so much spices. But really, that's what you have to do in order to get the flavor to come out good. So I'm going to put what I use for my spaghetti. Everybody does their own, I'm sure, but there's some onion powder, some Italian seasoning. It's like you took my basil away, so we'll put some extra in there. Some garlic salt. I put pepper in my spaghetti. Some people don't, but I do. I put pepper in almost everything. And some salt. So as you can see there, it has tons of seasoning on the top of it. So we have approximately a half a pound of real chicken that we have shredded. We steam cooked this, and then Tony shredded it out, and it's very fine. You want to get it as fine as you can get it, because the smaller the pieces, the better it's going to dehydrate. So throw that in there. Mix this up some. That way we make sure our spices get mixed in there really well. This is one box of regular spaghetti noodles. You can use the angel hair if you want. That'll probably dehydrate even better. But we usually just use the regular. Put that in there. Mixing it up. Another thing to think is, you kind of don't want it too wet, because that's just that much longer that you're going to have to dehydrate it. So you want to get a nice consistency to where you're getting your flavor, but yet not too moist to where it's going to take 2 days to dehydrate. So we're going to put the rest of this in here. We also have some onions and green peppers that Tony cooked those in with the noodles, so that's in here too. So I'll show you in just a minute what the consistency is of it. There you go. So plenty enough sauce in there. Whenever you rehydrate this is going to be great. It's going to sauce right back up. So give me a minute. We're going to get the dehydrator over here and show you how we lay it out, and then we'll get it started. Okay, so we got the dehydrator stuff set up. So I'm going to use some of these trays because I only have 2 of them, and I'm thinking I'm going to need more than that to dehydrate the spaghetti. So these are actually fruit roll-up trays and for the dehydrator, and we really like using these. These work very, very nice for like the buffalo chicken that we do and several other things, fruit, different things. So I'm going to show you how we fill it up. I'm a hands-on kind of person, so forgive me if you're one of those people that don't believe you should play with your food. And all you're doing is you're going to spread it out as evenly as you can and as thin as you can. Obviously, spaghetti gets a little bit thicker than other things, but it'll dehydrate fine. And these noodles will work great. So, you just kind of press it out there. There we go. Maybe just a tiny bit more. Right here. It looks a little thin. So there's one. Now, this is my normal dehydrator tray. See? But the holes are too big, so it slides through. So you have to put parchment paper on it. And we just cut it out and cut a little hole in the center. And we just use regular parchment paper. Works fine. Does great. So, just add this in here. Just like so. And actually, you get a little bit more on the tray whenever you're not using the fruit roll-up trays. But it's kind of nice because you don't got to cut out the parchment paper for them. So, get all this in here. So this is, we don't have, it's according to the temperature on your dehydrator, but our dehydrator only has one setting on it. So depending upon what temperature your dehydrator is set on, this will take approximately 8 to 10 hours to dehydrate fully and be able to start storing it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these trays ready. Then we're going to get the dehydrator over here, show you how it stacks up and stuff, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we got it all trayed up, ended up with 4 trays. Just wanted to give you a quick reminder, make sure you overspice because really, you lose some of the flavor whenever it dehydrates. 8 to 10 hours, maybe 12 hours at the most to dehydrate according to your dehydrator and temperature. And Tony will be back in the morning to show you the finished product.
Alright guys, we're back. Now, something we forgot to mention to you guys, when you're making this spaghetti in the dehydrator, after about 6 hours, you want to flip them. Alright? And if you want to speed the process up, you can take out your fruit roll-up tray liners, or if you're using parchment paper, you can take that out, because then it won't fall through the cracks or stick to it as bad anymore. So once you get them done, you'll know when they're done because they'll be on the verge of being crunchy. I mean, you'll be able to tell, trust me. When you grab it, I mean, when it basically breaks when you bend it, which is what it'll do, it'll be all dried out. Now, a little different than standard stuff we dehydrate, like our buffalo chicken and stuff. This stuff has a shorter shelf life in the freezer. So I would recommend that you use this stuff within 4 months maximum. Other people tell you different. The fact of the matter is, something about noodles, especially when you put like onions and green peppers in it, it just doesn't hold as well in the freezer. Now it still won't be bad per se, it just starts to have flavor degradation, doesn't rehydrate as well, stuff like that. So we're just going to keep packing this down in this bag because I want to show you that an entire container, a pot of spaghetti. Think about what an entire pot, a entire batch of spaghetti, if you tried to take that out in the woods with you, but what we have we've achieved here is, and it weighs next to nothing. You know, that's half a pot of spaghetti. And it weighs absolutely nothing. You know, that's a couple meals right there. You just rehydrate it and go. So, this is pretty simple. But a lot of times we go out I'll be snacking on everything in sight. Even when we take things like our dehydrated chicken and stuff, I'll need something a little more substantial. And this stuff is perfect for that. Because you're going to be burning massive calories. And I myself love to have pasta when we're out on the trail. It's just one of those things that kind of nice to go to bed, especially on the colder days when you're out backpacking. It's nice to go to bed with a full belly and feeling real content. So we just put that entire thing of spaghetti in 2 freezer bags. That one weighs even less. 2 bags. Done and done. Probably minimum of 4 meals. Probably more like 7 or 8 though, honestly. Just kind of depends on how big a day you're having. But the cost is next to nothing compared to going out and buying like a Mountain House meal or something. Rehydration on this stuff does take a bit. Usually I'd say put, whatever amount you're wanting to rehydrate, super boiling water down in a bag, and if you got a cozy or something, that's good, but if not, just wrap it up, let it sit 10 to 15 minutes, and then stir it again, and it should come out. But anyways, now I gotta go convince my wife to clean the dehydrator. So wish me luck with that, and we'll see you in the next one.